Guys, are you ready for the Taylor Swift AI situation? I don't know if I should even do this, but I'm curious. Let's see what we got here. I'm a little curious. I don't know. Let's see what we got here.
Well, 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 if it isn't another topic on AI that I really want to discuss. I'm like,
AI is a little scary. We have to, I made a joke about this before when it happened. What was it? The one guy was looking at his friend, AI of his friend. I get it. I'm a man. May not be appropriate, but I get it. And I made a joke and I was like, the booby streamers, there are our first line of defense when it comes to AI. Like, they're the first ones getting hit with like inappropriate AI art. And then what happened? There have some conversations about using AI, and I know my understanding is Palworld didn't use AI, but now that conversation is coming up about how AI is being used to create art, and AI is now being used. It's a little silly right now, but I've seen edits of like different musicians singing old songs and they sound pretty good. And there was a conversation when it came to AI being used when it came to the actors, some of the small time actors. What I heard, and I could be misinformed, was that some of like the extras, their AI likeness may have been able to be used and recreated in another show or whatever as a background character, and they wouldn't get compensated. It's like AI has the ability to take away people's jobs, and the booby streamers come first. And while as a man, I can see the appeal to maybe using AI to superimpose someone's face onto a different actress or make art. We probably have to do something about it. We got to figure something out because I don't want to get replaced. All you have to do is, I imagine it's just like, oh, the algorithm, the computer can just analyze Papa God, his mannerisms, his typical reactions, his obnoxious Tourette's eye twitching. And you could just make a video of me reacting to it. Now, if I got to use that technology, I wouldn't even have to do any work anymore, I guess. But technology exists to make everybody's life better, not to make it worse. So while it makes things cheaper, using AI to do certain things or technology in general, you probably got to figure something out to make sure that everybody doesn't suffer, right? So we've got to figure that out. Yeah.
a broken record when it
Ethan
comes
Klein super chatted $1.99. I'm never giving you a hoodie, little boy.
Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, I've noticed your silence when it comes to Camden Gerard Davis. The Leviathans are gooning.
to AI. I have talked about it so much. I've probably mentioned AI on my channel more than I've mentioned my role in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Wait, he was in that?
And that's really saying something.
It's like the meme where I used to be big on TikTok.
But it really feels like people just aren't grasping the magnitude of AI and how it's going to be game-changing for everyday life. And then,
Yeah, of course, because most people are consumers and they're like, this is good for me. It's like Amazon. We haven't realized how, in some ways, tragic Amazon has been. You get good deals. They goes right to your door. It's fantastic. It's put out, I think we only have 25% of malls left in America. It's put bookstores out of service. They took like a $3 billion loss to put small bookstores out of service. It's massively changed the landscape. Less people have jobs now. Because here's how things used to work. Hey, somebody makes a thing, they sell it to a storefront, that storefront sells it to you. Now, a lot of the ways, like Amazon's becoming that middleman, and it's so large, it's just like taking away these brick and mortar storefronts. There's a huge, and it's cheaper because now you don't have to have a physical store, although now they're making Amazon things. So everything, technology always hurts some people. There are factory towns where 80% of the employees have been laid off because the factory is automated. It's a menial job. You're picking something up and you're moving it or doing it. You can automate that. Those people go on permanent disability and those people go on permanent welfare because what else are they going to do? And that town slowly just dies because now there's not a boom of economic infrastructure. Now it's just like, how can we make it so that they exist? But there's not a lot of new going into there. It's been hitting us constantly if you've been paying attention. This is one of the first times, in my opinion, that it's like negative for people, I guess, online or in a visible way, if that makes sense. Because technology is great. The only reason you can watch me is because of technology.
Years. It's only getting more and more sophisticated, and as it continues to develop, it's going to get very scary for everybody.
And to keep in mind, this is something to think about. Wall-E with all the morbidly obese people. That was the good ending. You might be like, no, that's not. Yes, it is. Like, that's the good ending, is us all being fat, complacent, and happy. Well, we shouldn't be fat. But the bad ending is we all die. Okay?
I'm not trying to just put the fear of God in you, but I feel like there's some people out there that I just need to grab by the shoulders and shake them to really get it through their thick skull to stop being so short-sighted. What am I talking about right now? Is the Taylor Swift AI porn images that were floating.
I never got to see them, by the way. I'm a little disappointed in that. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Remember the fappening? That was crazy. I got to see that. Wow. I'm a degenerate.
Around last week. I'm sure a lot of you saw it. It's been a major talking point for a little bit. Basically, there were a lot of AI-generated images of Taylor Swift getting fucked by Chiefs fans. And it's
Nice.
become a huge talking point in the mainstream media, so much so that there's even calls for Congress to make new legislation around AI generative content and stuff. And while this isn't a new
It makes sense. It'll take them forever to figure something out, though.
application for AI that nobody saw coming, in fact, making deepfake AI porn is the most popular application of it.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen it. I've never used that. That's disgusting.
It is new in the sense that more people were exposed to it that were previously unaware of the negative side effects that can come with this
Yeah, mostly it was only gooners. Now it's regular. Now it's the normies, as they'd say.
kind of technology. And I've seen just so many brain rot takes about why it's just not a big deal and who cares. And these were the same takes we were seeing a year ago. If you remember the drama on Twitch where a streamer had signed up to a website that had like AI generated porn of other streamers on it.
Yeah, here's the thing, is that I don't care about the individual who gets deepfaked. I know that sounds shitty. You might just say you're out of touch, Papa God, or maybe it's because I'm a man, right? I don't really care that much. One of the only women I respect in my life is my wife, and she's like, I don't really care, but I think that she just doesn't really care about internet drama, which is what it's considered, even though it's like, But I do care about the actual ramifications when you expand and look at everything around, So it's like the gooner in me and the human in me doesn't care about the AI stuff, but then like the supposed intelligent political side of me is like, well, societal watching is like, yeah, you know what, this might not be good, and here's your reasons why. Here's why we need a universal basic income. Blah.
There were so many people saying like, they're not like actual victims of anything. It's not really their body. It's just their face on someone else's body. What are they
Yeah, I don't care.
crying about? What's all the whining? What's all this hoopla? It's nothing burger. That's just straight up degenerate stink brain weirdo take.
Hey, shut the fuck up, dude.
It's very easy to understand why this kind of thing is bad. Even if it's not actually their body or anything, the AI generative content is extremely convincing. And not only that, obviously, none of the
Sure, I think that a lot of all the streamers had the ability to say that it's obviously not my body. Like, it could be convincing. When you put it down to a small scale of like a local person, we'll say, the AI art could potentially cause them to miss out on a job opportunity. Because like, oh, you do, I saw like a naked image of you and this might have happened. You're like, oh no, that wasn't me. And it's like, how can you convince somebody of that, especially when people aren't educated on the technology? But for the streamers, like, everybody knows it's not them. All they have to say is that's not me, and it doesn't really matter, right? So that impact doesn't exist as much. You could also argue though that destigmatizing porn, which is happening, is going to have a less of an impact on something like that. But when you're in like a professional job, having done porn before can be seen as a negative to the employer or a client if you're working with them. So
the streamers, or in this case the celebrities here, are consenting to it. In the case of the Taylor Swift AI photos, there's plenty of people I saw of the older generation that thought they were real because they didn't know you could make something that looked like this.
Yeah, sure, that would be the issue.
That's
I think that one of the things that needs to happen is people need to be aware of this technology so they know it. Old people are really dumb. Old people. My mom told me a story about when she used to work for White Castle. And there was a manager at the White Castle, an older guy, and some random person called up saying that they were like a boss or something, and they're like, we need like $5,000. Oh, we need like $5,000 or something, or we're gonna shut your power off. You never paid it. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta go pay that now. They're like, yeah, go to Target and buy gift cards. And he goes to Target and he's standing on the line with like I don't know, it might have been like $2,000, but like thousands of dollars worth of gift cards. And he calls my mom because my mom worked there, and he's like, oh, I'm nervous this happened. And she's like, don't buy those gift cards. What are you doing? Like, old people are dumb as fuck. That's how they're getting scammed. That's what the fucking problem is. So you got to kind of educate them on it too, so that there's a level of awareness that makes this not happen as much. That's another thing too.
Going to continue to be the case as the technology gets more and more advanced.
Sure.
And it's extremely accessible where anyone can make this kind of content. It only takes one nefarious weirdo a couple of minutes to tinker around here and generate this kind of content.
True.
And you have no control over that. If there's photos of
You do. Grow a beard. It's very difficult to deepfake somebody with a beard. Grow a beard. Women with PCOS, you're safe. Grow a beard. And you can't be deepfaked as easily. You'll be fine.
you that exist anywhere on the cyberspace, anyone can grab those puppies and pop them in here and produce this very easily. And you'd be
Hey, you're talking about Kit Booga. The shout out to the guy who's wastes scammers' time, yeah.
none the wiser. Until, of course, your dad comes up to you, sits you down, and says, "Look, son, I saw the photo."
Look, son, I saw you in a femboy outfit. You had a nice bulge. You wanna hang out?
Your butt got blasted by 45 Chiefs fans. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't think anybody actually believed that Taylor Swift thing. Like, not for nothing, but I understand people aren't educated on technology. There's no way anybody believed that Taylor Swift was actually getting railed in the middle of a stadium by a bunch of Chiefs fans. Nobody ever believed that. If they did, they're just stupid. They're just...
You going through a whore phase or something, son? This kind of thing is only going to get more and more common. Right now, it's mainly
That's
being
true.
used against celebrities, so a lot of people feel totally justified in just laughing at them.
It's not being just used as celebrity. It's being used for a lot of people too. It is celebrities. It's just that nobody cares about, your fucking whoever you might be deep faking in private. Nobody gives a shit about them. So they're not really blasting those around as much, but it's probably being used for all that.
For it. Like, who gives a fuck? They can eat shit. Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect me. Haha. Regardless
Based.
of how you feel about Taylor Swift, even if you're not like an avid Swiftie or anything like that, you're not a Taylor Swift enthusiast, it
Rest in peace, Swifty.
shouldn't matter. You should obviously be able to recognize why this is a terrible thing and isn't something that's just some goofy, no big deal situation. It's a fucking problem.
Here's the thing, and maybe this is one of the things, is that it's not going anywhere. I'm just being honest with you. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I just think that it's one of those things where things are going to happen. I know I'm being so vague, but there are certain things that are just going to happen, and and you can't always do something about it. I don't think that anything's really going to happen when it comes to like AI shit. People are still going to find a way to do it. I think having the conversation about it and figuring out some safeguards is fine, but I mean, I'm not going to doomer it. It's not like the end of the world to me. It's like, yeah, that's something we're going to have to figure out how to deal with it, whether it's actively implementing a law or just having enough awareness to know that this isn't real. It's kind of where we're going.
But soon it's going to be happening to your mom, your sister, you,
Maybe.
anybody, because it's more and more easily accessible
I just don't care if you AI deepfake me. I guess I just don't care. I don't know.
by the day.
I don't
and
give a
more and
shit.
more advanced by the day. Right now,
I want to look at it. I turn myself on, dude.
a lot of AI generated images, but they also use it for AI videos as well. The deepfake porn has only been growing in popularity. There's entire services now that will charge users to create AI generated porn videos of celebrities that they like or
Can you really do that? The AI videos I've seen suck. Like I saw an AI video before, and I was like, this kind of sucks. What do they mean by videos? Do they mean like fully rendering somebody doing a thing, or just trying to superimpose somebody's face onto another body?
whatever. So it's getting very bad, and it's going to keep getting worse, and I just don't understand why people write
The only issue I'd have is that I can't profit off of it if somebody makes AI porn of me jacking off. That would be the only problem I would have. We got to tax the technology.
this kind of thing off like, who cares? Not even really a victim of anything here. It's just AI generated images. It's not even her body.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it any less violating.
It makes it less violating. You could argue it makes it violating still, and I get that. If you're like, it doesn't matter, it is still violating to somebody, that's fair. It does make it less violating, because it quite literally is not you. Like, that's, just to be clear. Your argument is like, hey, it's still violating, that's fair. You're right, okay? I've shifted a little bit of all the gooning I'm doing right now. I've shifted a little bit more sympathetic and more empathetic. I get it. But it is still quite literally not you. It is not the exact same. All right? Just to be clear. All right? So...
Nor does it make it any less detrimental. Let's go ahead and stretch out from celebrities. Let's
It does. I think it does make it less detrimental again.
put our
So
feelers elsewhere. Let's say you're applying for a job, just normal average Joe guy looking for a normal average job. You're applying to a lot of different places.
you're probably not going to have a problem finding an average job. I would say for the most part, like what's an average job? Like a McDonald's job or a truck driver? Nobody's going to give a shit if you did porn before.
And there's a company that's really interested, so they look your name up online, check out your social media, which is pretty standard procedure for most businesses these days to at
Sure.
least check social media. So they go to your social media, they look at your name, and they see something pretty interesting. It's a photo of you giving dual hand jobs. You got akimbo wieners, cock in each hand. and your potential employer sees that, and they're probably not going to do a whole lot of digging to see whether or not that's real or fake. It just came up when
They probably would as deepfake stuff becomes more prevalent.
they looked at your name.
Also, they might not see that because usually they have safety filters on their Googles because they're at work. So
I imagine there's a good chance they just move on to the next applicant and write you off right then and there because
maybe.
they saw that image. And
I don't know how like realistic it is that that's going to like legitimately happen. You're just gonna have like you fucking double fisting cocks with your name attached to it. I mean, maybe I'm just wrong. I just feel like it's not necessarily gonna happen.
going to be pretty off-putting to them. And it's not that far-fetched that someone might just make AI deepfake porn of someone they don't like in the real world to try and bully them or try and like start rumors
Yeah, that's true.
about them, like, hey, look at what this guy was doing, or look what this girl was doing. Oh my gosh.
I feel like I feel like you wouldn't find that. You'd see that more on like a 4chan. You'd see more of that on 4chan, and your name wouldn't be linked to it. You know.
Revolting, just to try and make your life more miserable. There's even a scam going around right now that's kind of popping off recently. I'm using that term pretty loosey-goosey. I wouldn't say popping off, but it's becoming pretty common.
Okay.
Basically what it is scammers are using AI to deepfake images and videos to convince men that they are some kind of female that's romantically interested in them. And
I like some kind of female. Maybe not a full female, but give me 90% of one, and I'm yours. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, dude?
eventually entice them into sending compromising photos or messages, and
Yep.
then use that as
Hey, listen, you got it. You can't be gooning like that, brother.
blackmail against the victim, saying that
Oh
we'll
god, that's so scary using blackmail.
tell your friends or family or employer or something if you don't give us money. I think the term that's being used for this is called sextortion. And recently, a
Interesting.
17
I've
year
never even heard of this.
old took their own life after falling
What
victim
the
to a
fuck?
similar scam. In this case, the scammers didn't use AI.
3 Nigerian men pretended to be a female online and coerced to send a nude photo of himself, according to... Whoa, that's really fucked up, actually. All right. Damn, rest in peace. Rest in peace, brother. Ugh, rest in peace, brother.
They just lifted a porn video for this one.
Am I allowed to say the Nigerian? I don't know.
But AI is being utilized in scams just like that one for the same purpose.
Sure,
Of course,
yeah.
I've mentioned this next one quite a bit, but AI phone scams are really blowing up recently, where
Scammers using AI to clone a person's voice, which is then used to trick loved ones. Oh, that's crazy.
scammers are able to clone people's voices, and they're delivering phone calls to loved ones pretending to be their son or daughter, and that they're in a stress
Yeah, I mean, in these instances, somebody's using the AI that exists to try to extort something. You know, I think that obviously, well, yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, that's one of the potential negatives. How would you figure that out? How do you safeguard that? Like catfishing with AI is basically what's happening. How do you safeguard that with technology? Because the technology is going to exist, and the people that want to use it illegally are going to have access to it. I don't know. Education. Because now, and you might think that's silly, but anytime I go to a store that sells gift cards, there is a sign that says, like, that is basically some kind of educational sign of, like, hey, this is scam. Like, it might be a scammer if you're buying a lot of gift cards. So that's kind of what we have to do. Like, hey, AI is here. Don't trust any random number that calls you, et cetera, et cetera. If they make AI of a child's face with an adult body, is that still CP? Why are you asking that question? Why was that one of the first thoughts that you had? Hey, what this? If I jerk off to a child's face in an adult's body, am I still a pedophile? What the fuck? It's disgusting. I don't even know how to answer that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
situation, like they're in danger and they need to get money ASAP from the family member. And
Hello, guys. It's me, John Wick. It's me, guys. Master Chief. Send me your credit card and your phone details so that I can defeat the Hive. I've never played Halo. I don't know.
the technology is already good enough for these to be very convincing. And the family members are sending money to these scammers under the impression that it's their son or daughter that needs it to survive and something's gone wrong. And
It sounds like this technology is probably very good for trans people to feel more valid online, you know? Imagine you get to you get to make a video and you get to change your voice to something that's a little more masculine or feminine based on what you want.
that's still just the tip of the iceberg. There's still so much more when it comes to like negative
You said you don't care about AI. It was just a question. I don't care about AI. I care about children. Like, that's weird. What the fuck?
implications of using this kind of technology that we just saw be used for the Taylor Swift AI stuff.
It's like, yeah, well, technically, Lolicon isn't actually a person, so is it okay for me to jerk off to that? Like, that's what I'm getting. That's like the same question to me. This is gross. You shouldn't be encouraging the behavior of engaging like that with minors, whether they are real people or drawn characters, okay, that's still not good. I think that just contributes to you going down a rabbit hole.
It's all the people that are having a hearty
You should have just said JK LOL. That's what your next line should have been, brother.
belly laugh at it, giggling like, it's not a big deal. What are they making such a fuss about? It's super fucking dumb and unbelievably short-sighted. You will likely be the victim of something similar in the future. Even
No, probably not. I'm ugly as fuck, brother.
if it's not AI deepfake porn, it'll be some kind of AI scam phone call, and it all ties back
And I'll say, I don't answer the phone unless I know who the person is, so I'm probably fine.
to the same problem of it is easily accessible to everybody in the world, and you can't really do a whole lot to stop it right now, which is why it's
That's
such
true.
a tricky situation when it comes to, like, what do we do about it going forward? I saw
There you go, JK LOL.
was it the White House correspondent or something was like, we've seen the Taylor Swift AI stuff and deeply disturbed. We're going to be looking into this or something.
Oh, I bet they are. Joe Biden's probably sitting there licking his ice cream while he watches fucking Taylor Swift deepfake porn. I need to see it. I need to see it for research. We got to come up with a law.
And right now it's mainly celebrities, but soon it'll just be anybody. And
Cool.
then another story started floating around about like a 14-year-old girl that took her own life because of bullying, and apparently one of the things they did was deepfake her into like porn or something.
Yeah, well, we have to start beating the shit out of bullies in school. That's not a joke, by the way. That needs to be a thing. We need to bring back the rulers and the nuns, and they should walk around and beat the fuck out of bullies. Because bullying is just fundamentally a massive problem in schools in general. High school, I think everybody has this experience that's no longer in high school. Leaving high school is one of the most jarring experiences of your entire life. You're in this bizarre atmosphere that's majority other kids with massive hormonal things going on in their bodies. And it's just relentless bullying that's just justified by adults like, they're just too lazy to deal with it. The second you leave high school, it's almost like you've entered like a new world that's kind of easier. Like life sucks when you have to work, but it's not as stressful as being a kid in high school. It's so stressful. The atmosphere is horrible. It's like the worst version of adults existing everywhere. That piece of shit asshole who gives you an attitude when they order their Starbucks if you're the cashier, that's every girl. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's a rude piece of shit. And you get out of that atmosphere and you're like, wow, everything is just kind of more relaxed somehow. So I think that bullying is a problem. Bullying is such a problem in schools in general. And saying bullying builds character, it can. Any stress in your life that you're able to overcome can build character. Or the bullying for most people is probably just going to give them severe anxiety. Right? Well, bullying builds character. And teaching people the right way to act with each other also builds character. That's the kind of character that I want to see in people. So
I don't know if that was confirmed or not, but that headline kept getting spread around. But that is something that really will be like a thing. Bullies in school can just take any picture anyone posts and deepfake porn of them or something to bully them. Yeah. So it's not just going to be celebrities. And it's already not just celebrities. You can do the same with Photoshop, though. You can't Photoshop like an actual porn video of someone, not convincingly though. Deepfake.
you don't need to Photoshop anymore. You can deepfake pictures too.
AI.
You can deepfake pictures. You can deepfake videos. You can do it all.
You absolutely can.
And the Taylor Swift thing wasn't a deepfake, at least not how I know it. Deepfakes, from my understanding, are superimposing somebody else's face onto another body. That AI porn thing, from what I saw, because I saw a little bit of it, unfortunately nothing particularly good, it was just like it looked like a completely drawn version of Taylor Swift, like art-wise, that looked almost real, like almost like a watercolor painting, if that makes sense.
And it's not even close. You can make extremely believable things out of AI deepfakes.
Oh, Charlie, have you seen it before?
Are they going to
Bro, I swear to God, Charlie probably goons the fuck out of deepfake AI.
regulate it, though? Anyone with a decent GPU can generate the images really easily. The code's open source. Yeah, that's why it's so difficult and so complicated. I have no idea how you'd regulate it. I genuinely don't know. This Evie Bear was always an annoying loser. I don't know who that is. I only know that name from the Taylor Swift deepfake AI shit. And now he's on the chopping block. Do
Damn.
you still have the AI girlfriend? Dorothy? No, we broke up. I finally canceled it.
Damn.
Well,
Okay, well, interesting.